Now, well, hello everyone. Welcome, welcome. Today is a really special day because this is a day I give shout outs to my awesome students who are now PMP gurus, now bosses. So I want to give a shout out really quickly. I can see Delita is here and Carolene is here as well. How are you guys doing?
Woo!
Great.
Excited.
I am
I couldn't believe it.
so elated to have you here. Well done. All of your hard work has, there she is. All of your hard work has paid off, Delita.
Yes.
Woo!
Oh, what a relief.
Oh,
Carolene,
there's Carolene.
congratulations.
Hi, I'm so excited to get this great news from both of you. Delita is delivering her lessons learned tomorrow, and Caroline just sent me an email. I almost fell off my seat because I was like, today, and I just get this email pop up, and she's sending me the great news. So, how do both of you feel now? You're PMP gurus.
I don't know what to do. I'm so excited. I literally had the email up that I passed
Wow.
for hours. Like, did I really? Oh, but the funny thing is that I was so excited that I took a picture of them saying congratulations. And the proctor said, I see you just used your phone. I
Oh
said,
my God.
the survey is up. And she said, well, you have to end this or you're going to be disqualified. I was like, oh no, where's the end?
Oh my God.
That is hilarious. That is hilarious. I mean, you can't control the excitement. So, Delita, what did you do? Because I know you went off on vacation to enjoy yourself when you got done. So tell us what was your reaction when you saw that you'd aced it?
I burst in tears,
Aw.
which anybody that knows me knows that's not surprising because I'm just an emotional person. But it was just tears of joy. Like every feeling I felt throughout the entire process, I think came out then and there because I was like, after I reviewed the last few questions, it was like, you sure you want to continue? And I'm like, okay, this is it. And I was in a library. I actually rented like a little space.
Oh, okay.
So I was trying to be quiet and
Yeah.
everything too. But when I got outside, I was like screaming and shouting and jumping. I was like, yes, I'm done. And I mentally like checked out of everything. Like
Wow.
everything. So
Yeah.
that's how, I didn't mean to neglect my study group and stuff, but I've been on this journey since 2018. I didn't have no more to give.
Wow, wow.
So
And the same that we had another student who was in your class, Bruce. He got certified as well.
yes, he told me. I was so excited for him.
Yeah.
Yes,
Wow.
and everybody in the study group, I just keep saying PMP certified. I'm just like, y'all are just rocking it.
Yeah.
So
There
we got
you
a few
go.
more people left to take it that need to take it, but I mean,
Yeah, I'm
pretty
not
soon.
sure how many more people do you reckon, without us mentioning names? I don't want to call anyone out, but roughly how many do you reckon? Because Tameka got certified yesterday.
Yeah, she called
Yeah.
me. She was like, girl. I was like,
And she called me today.
yeah, I knew
Wow.
it.
I
I
like the
don't
way
know
you
how many
folks.
people.
I know of at
But
least two.
yeah, at least two. But I know people. The more people that they see are passing, people that I haven't even seen on the study group before or haven't been on in a while, they're like chime in, like, oh, I'm still, want to take mine. I'm like, go for it, because like, why everybody hot and got, everybody hot right now. So you just take it, go for it.
Yeah,
before they go and try to change something.
I know, right? Right. But I'm really excited because both you and Carolyn, I mean, that's one of the things about our program. Our program isn't just, all right, away you go study. No, I know you folks. I know what you put in. I know the energy. I feel your pain. So when you finally do it, I'm as crazy as you are, getting excited doing cartwheels. And our learning administrator, she was so excited and sends congrats to you folks. But let's take a look at some of these names that you probably can recognize from this. So you can probably pick out your names. But we have Wilder, huge shout out to Wilder, Christina, you Delita, Cindy, Dua, Hector, Farheen, Jim, Keith, May, Michael, Michelle, LTC Maddox, Tameka, Carmen, Carolyn, you, of course, Shay, Troy, Bruce, Darren, and Shafin, who was one of the very first. So a huge shout out to all of you for getting this done. It's been a real uphill climb. It hasn't been easy. Anyone that tells you PMP is easy, what do you have to tell them?
No.
Stop lying to yourself.
It is so not easy, is it?
It's not, and it's like you never feel like you've studied enough. At least I felt that way. And then it's like it gets to the point where, you know, when we get on each other's lessons learned, it's like, well, what should I study? But sometimes I found that a little bit overwhelming for me too, because I'm like, oh shoot, I didn't look at that. Let me go back and look at that. And the list just gets longer and longer, like
It
a
does.
steady list. So I just had to like draw the line, like,
Oh, dear. Well,
don't worry about it.
Carolyn,
Yeah.
you kind of took time off, and Delita, if I'm not mistaken, you did take some time off to hunker down, right? Did you take some days off or not?
Maybe a day.
Okay, about a day. I know, Carolyn, you took some time off to hunker down,
Yeah,
right?
I took the week after Memorial Day.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So
A whole week.
I literally studied from Friday night before Memorial Day all the way through
Wow.
until, you know, that full week.
It had to be done, though. Did you go
Yeah.
back to work immediately after that intermission? Did you start work again?
Yes, I did. And, you know, like I was telling you, I am the technology chairman at my sororities chapter.
Oh, yeah.
There's like almost 900 people in that chapter. And so since we're all virtual, we have to do Zooms.
Oh.
So they've gotten used to it and they all want to have a webinar. Woohoo! Meaning myself or somebody in my team has to man it. So it was like, are you all kidding? Every night I got to study.
Oh,
Oh
dear.
my God. You know,
They
so
don't
every time I make
understand.
plans to study, it just wouldn't work out.
Wow.
So,
Wow. But look at you. You're here now. Uphill
Yeah.
climb. I knew I've been looking forward to this day for Delita. I've been looking forward to the day like big time. And tomorrow, I don't want to take away the thunder of tomorrow. Those who, and I've invited quite a number of people, hopefully about 50 people would have gotten the invites. So Carolyn, your turn is coming soon. So you're not quite off the hook. Your turn is coming in the next few weeks, but Delita is tomorrow. And yeah, really looking forward. I'm going to be asking you all the questions about your preparation, all the artifacts, Delita. Go find those artifacts, all of these relics. I want to see your versions of these relics.
Okay. I was just thinking like, oh, I don't have like, I mean, my dry razor board, I cleaned that off immediately. And I didn't pick it, but I'm gonna see what I have to gather.
Oh dear, I hope you haven't thrown it on the fire pit.
Oh no, I kept it because I actually want to do my Scrum Master certification next.
That's awesome.
So,
Look
Yeah, me
for my
too.
buddy. I don't know if I told you, Tom Meller. Look for Tom. He's a good guy. TOMMELLOR. If you want, I drank that Kool-Aid first from him back in 2010, 2011. And that is what propelled me in the world of Agile. He's an excellent coach and trainer. So yeah, look, but highly recommend anyone who's looking to do anything after PMP, go for CSM, you know, first, and then move on from there. I see Zhiru has joined us. Zhiru, how you doing? Thanks for joining us today. I hope you're inspired.
I'm doing okay. I'm cramming up for my test.
Well, look, you got perfect examples over here, you know, of our friends who have aced it. So I hope they are inspiring you.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, we have so many people pass the test.
And you are going to be the next. Look, get with the
I'm
program.
praying
Zhiru.
for that. I'm
Know
praying
it.
for that.
You got to know it. You are going to be the
You're
next.
next.
Know it.
Thank
You know,
Thank you.
don't be afraid. Because I see, it's funny because a lot of the students who end up passing, I'm like, I already saw you as a PMP, eons. I knew it was going to happen. I look at your job profiles. I look at the kind of work you do. I'm like, there is no way. There is no way they're not going to do it. I don't care how many hiccups, there is no way. And Zhiru, you're next. So
Thank you. Thank you for your encouragement.
it's just the
And I actually
truth.
thought you already took yours and passed, so you have to pass.
There you go.
There you go. There you go. So the purpose was to give folks a shout out. But Zhiru, if you got any questions about any topics that you want me to address today when we get done with the shout outs, put it in the chat. And I'm
Yeah,
going to give you a very brief. I promise I won't keep you waiting like I normally do. I normally keep people for 2 hours training. No, I won't keep you for 2 hours today. I'll do it in a quick 10 minutes, I promise. But chat into me whatever you have doubts in. Now, let me just quickly ask our gurus, because tomorrow is going to be another day. And Caroline, you're going to come back and give us some of that Kool-Aid and let people know. But before you folks hop off, why don't you tell us, quick idea. In the world of Agile, a lot of people struggle and they're like, oh, my exam, is it going to be more Agile? Is it going to be more? Without getting into detail, if you're just going to give a very huge comparison, would you say it's a 50-50 for real, 50 Agile, 50-50 predictive? Or would you say kind of bent more towards one end more than the other? What would you say?
I would say mine was more agile.
Same.
Wow. Well, there you
Yeah.
have it, viewers, friends on YouTube, friends on Facebook. You're hearing it from people who have been there, done that, my awesome gurus. And I'm really grateful for them coming. If you're on the group, look out for Delita's Lessons Learned tomorrow. And also look out for Caroline's Lessons Learned. We're going to decide when it is. I know you just got done a few hours ago, so I got to let you go enjoy yourself a little bit. But we'll talk about when your own Lessons Learned are going to be, Caroline. So thank you for jumping in, and go paint the town red. Have fun. Look, cheers. Cheers to you. Go do something.
Yes, cheers. Congratulations.
Congrats. Congrats to both of you. And before we get into anything else, I just want to beam up all of our gurus one more time, all these folks who were able to achieve just really, really awesome things on the exam. So there you have it, list of awesome PMP champions. So once again,
Tameka just joined.
Oh, Tameka, where are you? Show your face. Show us,
know
where
what?
are
I'm
you?
just dry. I'm just coming out of a store.
Are you? Woo! Tameka, congrats. Look, you
Thank
got
you
no
so
idea.
much.
I am
Thank you so much.
excited. I'm excited
Totally
for you.
exciting.
Oh my gosh, you have no idea. I'm like, yes. And your friend who just joined the program, she's going to be so pumped when she knows that you killed it, isn't she?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I got other people wanting to join. I was telling them about you. So they're like, okay, give me the info.
Send them on down. They need to go on down to, because look, everyone on this call that I've been, beaming their names up and stuff, they have all attended either the projectmanagementmasterclass.com or even multiple masterclasses, 40 days, all sorts of stuff. So this program that our friends have joined, solid program, Project Management Masterclass. You're going to get the best of both worlds, hybrid, agile, predictive. It's really helped people to say, oh, there she is. Woo!
Congratulations.
Congrats, Tameka.
You're on mute, Tameka.
Oh, sorry. As I said, I'm so excited.
You got no idea. I think I'm probably more excited. I'm just not emoting as much, but I've already done a lot of my celebration up here because I'm like, Tameka does she really know that she's going to be a PMP on that day? And here you are. I think I knew a lot more than you, because as we're going through the content, I'm like, Tameka doesn't know. I don't think she knows. She doesn't. Now you do.
Right. And I'm telling you, when I took it twice in December, it's like a confidence snatcher.
I know.
So, you know what I'm saying? And then this test was like way different. So I was just like, this is more in line. I don't know what PMI was doing before.
Yeah.
But it's definitely, you can, aspire to. I just felt like December last time the test, I don't know.
I am really glad that you did it.
Like, I felt like these questions, and I shouldn't say it like this, but this is what, like, I feel like they were more common sense questions. Like, the one when I took mine in December seemed more theory, like the book. You had to read the book, but a lot of these questions, if you just really thought about what they were asking you, you could probably figure it out. So,
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and everyone needs to jump into the water while it's still while it's still good temperature, and because I don't know what they're gonna do in the future. So those people watching are like, oh, I'm thinking of waiting till 7th edition. Are you out of your do it now?
No. Yeah, 92% pass rate. So I mean, yeah, I definitely do it now, right?
Yeah.
And I saw you got above all targets.
Woo!
Yeah.
Woo, 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 woo.
Yes.
Yes.
You folks work so hard. If anyone deserves to be certified, it's all of you folks, because I personally know the energy, the time you put in. You formed that study group. You were diligent with it. You took time off work. You read all of those texts. I know Tameka was reading this. Please tell me, did you read all the way to the exam, Tameka?
Yeah, so I know it was crazy. I don't know. A lot of people heard my story. I was up till 2:30. I wish I would not. 2 o'clock.
I had a feeling you would do it. I'm like, no amount of preaching is gonna.
But you know what? You told me. You told us on Saturday, don't do it, right? And I'm like, I didn't really. I just wanted to go over resources and a few other things. But I stayed up till 2 o'clock. I was like, why?
I knew you would. I knew you would. I'm like, rest your case. Don't panic her. Leave her alone. She'll figure it out herself. And I knew you would come out anyway. And you did. So I'm really excited, mad excited, because I know how much it meant to you. And whew.
Yes. Yeah, especially me forming the study group. I mean, if I didn't pass,
hello.
I was like, I'm not telling anybody I passed. I told Delita. I mean, I didn't tell you. When I was taking the test, I was like, I gotta just, see about this. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, you got no idea how excited I am. And before you got on, Tameka, I just flashed everyone's name on the screen, all those who had been toiling away, and those are the names of all of our champions who have aced the exam so far from the masterclass.
That's
and
amazing.
Associated courses, yeah.
That says a lot about you, Phil. So that's like big up to you. I say you go hard for your students, so I love it.
Thank you. I try my best, but more than anything else, I know all the pain. That's why last weekend when we had that boot camp, I'm like, I'm gonna set the boot camp just before the exams, and Carolene, you and Tameka were in that class, and we just set it right before. And the same for you, Delita. We had one of those versions of the boot camp just before your exam. Remember? I'm sure you got. Yeah, you remember? Yeah. So it's all a strategy to help give you that final push.
Right.
And it actually helped because I went over what you did Saturday. And took the 180 and went through the answers, what I got wrong, some of what I got right. I was up till midnight, and then it's like, I am going to bed.
Wow.
That's actually my question. I have the 120 question and 180 question because at the end, after we took the quiz on the LMS, it print the PDF file.
Yeah.
That's all I have. So that's what I'm thinking for the next few days.
Good.
I'm starting my Agile practice guide again. And after that, I'll just read through this 120 and 180 question. And I don't want to read it again. And I feel like my brain is pretty cannot like put anything inside.
You can't put anything else in. Now, let me ask our gurus, what do you ladies think Zhiru should do now that she has the 120 questions, she's taken it, she has 180, 120, 180. The 120 is really miserable. That's one of the worst Agile quizzes ever. It's very difficult, but she's taken both of them. And how should she use that? What would you say? Any ideas? Should she just keep on looking at her gaps, or should she take it again and try and get a better score?
I actually only took the 180 mock one time, and I scored in the 60 range, and that was enough for me because I had been scoring before that. I scored a 40, and I actually just focused on the gaps, sort of, because where I started was I was trying to fill in the gaps from my test in December, but that wasn't really helping me. And so I started watching the hybrid videos and really just honing in on the chapter dealt with people, like, stakeholders, resources, the communications chapter. So once I narrowed those down and risk, I didn't look at formulas, I didn't look at any of that.
Okay.
I felt
So
like
that's
I
what
had
I'm
a better
thinking.
chance. I had a better chance of knowing. I felt like if I knew Agile and Scrum overall in those key chapters, I felt like I was going to be fine, and I was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it.
Another thing is I went to Microsoft Edge.
Okay.
And I pulled up the electronic version of the PMBOK in Agile.
Oh, okay.
And I had it to read aloud to
Aloud.
me.
Yeah, that's a good strategy.
As I read the book so that I could stay focused.
Nice.
There was even a time when I just put my earphones on and I slept with it.
Yeah.
And when I woke up the next day, I was done hearing the book.
No, Phil, I had that same story. I was telling the study group. I said this was like last week. It was so funny. I'm studying, and at night I'm start listening to you. I wake up 3 o'clock in the morning, like that's Phil. Like I was like, okay, I didn't turn it off. I fell asleep to it. I was trying to close the gaps.
Oh my god.
But as far as I feel like the last week, I think that to me, like my lessons learned was definitely being have the agile mindset, because when you do, all the answers align. I just, you can pick, you can eliminate 2 of the 4. That's how I felt on my test. Yep. I always could eliminate 2 of the 4. 90% of the chance, 95% of the chance, you're not going to escalate it. So it was like, if you have that mindset, if you have that coaching, the servant leadership, this will take you, I feel like, across the board.
Agree. 1,000%.
Yeah, we did our best to, I know we went above and beyond. And you saw me in the group asking, oh, what about Little's Law, because I want to make sure it's appropriate. And we covered so many things, Roy and I, between us, and we just wanted to make sure you had all your bases covered. We didn't want to alarm you. We just thought if we expose you to enough of the content that's likely to be on the exam, you're going to do well. And you all did. So I'm really excited. Tameka, your day's coming to do the lessons learned. Tomorrow is Delita's. Then we're going to work on May and Farheen, everyone. Carolene, we're going to work on everyone's lessons learned so that you folks have a chance to share your story. It's all about a journey. And when you get to the arrival point, we just got to celebrate it. So cheers to all of you.
Another thing that helped me, Phil, was I think it was on the LMS where you kind of dissected how to read the question. And Tameka said it, like 9 times out of 10, you're not going to escalate it. Unless in the question, it tells you pretty much exhausted all of your options. I know every question I struck out 2 answers off the bat. So I think that was very, very helpful. And I did that the night before I took the exam. And when I went in there, I was like, I know I'm not going to send it to the response. Like, I just knew.
You cross those out. You cross those out. It would be blatant. Very helpful. And so I know I get it. And so, I took the 180 Saturday morning. I woke up 6 o'clock. And then we had your 11 o'clock class. And that's why I text you like, what was the grade? Because it didn't say pass or fail. I just forget, like, should you be 80 and ready? You know what I'm saying?
I think it's 70. I think it's 70.
Okay. Yeah. And then I hit up Michelle and she was like, Tameka, she was like, you're fine. And then that Saturday, that's what gave me the confidence that I was like, okay, I'm getting on the right track. So,
and the biggest thing is you have to feel confident. Like, we can tell you all day, like, you got this, because I knew that you had it, but you had to feel it for yourself, So.
Right. And that's why I hit you up too. I was like, it's just like believing in yourself, right? That confidence going in there. And it was so funny. I was thinking about what Phil said about the gremlins. And I was talking to myself like, nope, not today. Let's get it. But I had those 10-minute breaks. I was like, okay, Tameka, let's get it. Let's stay focused. I'm telling you, I was like, focused.
Oh dear. That's hilarious. Yeah, the gremlins. By the way, Kylie, who is also one of the study group participants, was given a shout out and saying congrats to you folks. She's on the YouTube stream. So
Oh
she's
yeah,
watching.
Kylie.
Oh,
Yeah.
Kylie's next.
Kylie, your time
Yeah.
has come. So buckle up. Yeah. So Kylie and I and the other members of the group in the masterclass, we have just a couple more Saturdays. And yeah, she's going to be doing exactly what you folks did, maybe taking time off and hunkering down and getting it done. But Tameka, let your friend know. Maybe I'll send a link to you so you can send her this video to inspire her. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's an uphill climb without a doubt. There's a lot of content. There's a lot. So whatever advice and help you can give to her, Tameka, please.
Oh, absolutely will. I absolutely will. This is amazing. Like, I'm so happy when I'm telling you, when I left, because I took it in DC. So when I left the building, I'm screaming on the streets of DC. Like, woo! I felt like the scene from Will Smith on The Pursuit of Happiness. That's how I felt that day. I was so excited, tearing up, crying, and everything.
It's a big deal. Look, I hear people from the world of Agile kind of like scorning kind of that PMP stuff. But let's be honest, if you haven't been down the journey and you haven't seen how it has impacted one's life, you cannot judge people for being so excited. I almost fainted when I realized I passed it, and I was on a cloud. And then I became very, very serious and serene because I realized there are a lot of poor people that will never be able to pass this test except I do something. And that is what just prompted me to start training as much as I could, because I'm like, these people something's wrong with them. This exam is hard. It's hard. And I came across a number of people who quit. You folks didn't quit, but a number of people, to do project managers, they didn't need to get to a better job, but they quit because they felt it was beyond their tolerance for pain or beyond their tolerance for ambiguity, and they're like, Phil, I can't do it. So
that's actually the truth, because I was talking to one of my friend. She is actually a project manager or something like that. And she told me, well, if you're still struggling, I would suggest don't take it anymore. It doesn't have to have the PMP to be a PM. I'm thinking, I've been trying for the past 2 years. I first teach myself, read the pinball guide 2 times before I walk in the test room. And I didn't even know. I mean, the first 10 minutes, I feel like I will absolutely fail it.
Wow.
So, but I just sit there and say, no matter what, I have to cram this 200 questions. After I finish that, I know I absolutely won't be able to pass it. I don't even remember anything.
Wow.
I just remember a couple of like a calculated question, the schedules questions, something like that. And some of my colleagues, they told me, oh, they only studied 2 months. I'm thinking, oh my God, they are so smart. I'm so stupid.
No, you're not. No, you're not, Zhiru. The honest
absolutely
truth.
not.
Yeah, it varies. We're all different. The way we understand and perceive things is different, but when you finally get it, you will amaze yourself. I always tell myself I need to be the best version of me. Not the best version of anyone else, but the best version of me. So you just do you. It's fine that they've done them good. Let them go on. But for you, just focus on doing you and getting it down for yourself. Don't look to the left or the right of what, who passed. A lot of people, they don't tell you what they've been through, or they don't tell you the exposure they've had, before coming into the exam. So all of those things count. They count a lot. Yeah.
And I think one thing that I would recommend to you is you have to get your mindset to be different than what you have right now, because you're already doubting yourself before you even get there, and you have to be positive. what is the thing you told us, Phil? Is it calm?
Calm. Yeah, be calm.
Yeah.
Like I literally was telling myself that in the exam too. Like I was like, girl, you got this, girl. You got this.
Me too. I was saying, I was
Girl.
like, Tameka, be calm. This is what you got to do. I was like talking to myself. You know what I mean? I think I think definitely you have to, your mindset, like I'm a pass, I'm gonna do it. This is it. So I just think that you should just go for it. And I feel like you studied and you took this journey for 6 months with us. So you got it.
Yeah. And you have our support.
Thank you.
Indeed.
Phil, what this few days, what helped me the most, I searched it at the YouTube. You had about a 1 hour talking about the page 49.
Okay.
When I was working, because my work typically at the office and testing and talk to technician here and there. But whenever I get to my desk, I put on my headphone, I listen to that.
Lovely.
I feel like, oh my God, I never feel like, oh, I learned this. So like when you're talking about resource calendar, you tell me, oh, this is seller's resource calendar. This should be standalone. And never I have paid attention to that page. And now I feel like, okay, if you say one document, I should be able to tell you where this document come from.
Exactly.
And also the quality report.
Yeah.
But explain the way you explained that, I never thought, okay, this is the iteration cycle. You come from the managed quality, but you update it more when you go through the control quality.
Yeah.
And it's an iteration cycle. I was thinking, that's very interesting. So only that YouTube teaching, I listened to it about 5 times.
Wow.
Like every morning when I got up the bed, I go to YouTube, I find your teaching and teaching, and listen to something.
Zhiru, have you been listening to this as well? Please tell me you've been listening to your 20 hours.
Yes, I put especially the yes, I did.
Good stuff. And for the next few days, and I know it's not too far before you take your exam, but tune into some of the things Emily and I are going to be talking about on YouTube. We just started a new series called the PMP Journey, and we're going through all the 35 tasks, and we're going through them one by one. So just follow along and, let it inspire you. But I've got no doubt that you're going to kill the exam on this go round. So be encouraged. If there's anything else, so I see your question. And Carolene, do you have any suggestions about what she should do now she's done the mock exams and has the PDFs? Any suggestions?
Well, yes, I would suggest that she take those responses on the mock exam, and because it tells you exactly where to go in the book, and read that area, that section. And I even looked at some of the answers that I got right to make sure, because they may ask you another question that's similar, and it takes you to a place in the book where you can just kind of zero in and get an idea about that subject matter. So no matter what they ask you, you have an answer for it.
Absolutely. Good suggestion. Yeah.
Okay. So maybe I'll just finish this Agile practice guide and just really digest those 120 and 300 questions.
Yeah. I also retyped the glossary on the Agile practice guide. Ooh. I just got on the computer and I just typed glossary out.
Oh, okay.
That is brute force. That is amazing.
I tried to write it, but my hand started hurting.
Oh my gosh. I mean, either
I just
way,
got on my computer and
that is so commendable.
Printed it out. And so like if I'm at work, or I would have my earbud in listening to something. I was at the dentist at the beginning of the month. And I actually had rescheduled the appointment because I was supposed to have gone in April. I rescheduled it for June. And that was the week I was off to study. And my dentist asked, well, what have you been up to? So it's like, oh, I'm studying for this PMP. Just like, it's funny. Somebody was in here 3 weeks ago asking if I knew anybody that was trying to get this PMP.
That's funny.
So it's like, well, do you mind talking to her? So I talked to her a couple of days later, and I've been sending her stuff.
Wow.
Oh,
For you, like if you pop up on YouTube, I'll send her the YouTube. So she's gotten her.
Send her this one.
Okay, I sure will. She's waiting on her pen box. She's got her Agile, and I said, do what he says the first time.
Well, just tell her, like I'm telling everyone here, going down to projectmanagementmasterclass.com. It's really a masterclass because we want people not just to pass the exam, but to take that mindset of, I am a project management professional. I am not just a project manager who imagined I'm a project manager. No, I've taken an exam that millions of people have tried, but only 1 million people plus have succeeded on. And those are PMPs. And if you put your mind to it and you do the right amount of, coaching and pep talk, you can go into any interview and wow the interviewers. You shouldn't be afraid of any interview. Now that you're certified, study up. You've shown that you're one of the top tier of project managers who doesn't only just do the do, but you actually understand the theories behind what you do. Because a lot of PMs they're great with the interpersonal skills, they're great with Microsoft Project, but you ask them to explain, they can't back what they did with theory. But you folks are now at that level, and you've got the paper to prove it. So don't even waste a minute going for whatever you want to. Any interview, any job, I don't care what it is. And my students have proven time and time again that they can bring it when they put their mind to it. I've got students who've been on to be in the C level, VP level, absolutely do it. I mean, when you look at a project, it's a mini organization. That's what it is. So you should be able to scale up to your heart's content, scale up. Even if you're not taking the PGMP exam, watch my video on program management, watch my video on portfolio management. These things are good to know. And you can plug and play, to your heart's content. Some folks are really happy just on the project level. Some folks are happy on multiple project levels, but not interrelated projects. And some folks, they love the interrelation. They love helping project managers find a way on a program. Whatever you want to do, just do it. Just do it. The sky is the limit from here on out. That's my 2 cents. And go watch my video on how to be a real success after PMP. I put that out earlier.
I just saw that today.
Oh, cool. Yeah, go watch that. Yeah, John.
I'm going to
Maxwell,
watch
my
it
mentor.
after I take my test.
Huh?
I'm going to watch it after I take my test.
There you go.
It's actually very funny. And I am studying this, and we have quality question. And I was talking to the quality engineer Wednesday. I kind of like some of the control quality and manage quality ideas popped into my mind when I was talking to him.
There you go.
And also when we talked about some activities in the group, I was thinking, well, no matter what, we have to look at the cost benefit, all those kind of things, do the cost benefit analysis. Some of this popped in my mind. I also like implemented, even we don't have any like the agile stuff, but I spend 15 minutes with I only have two members work in my group. So 3 of us, but I spend 15 minutes trying to walk through, do the stand-up stuff, daily stand-up.
There you go, Zhiru. That's the way to do it. So Zhiru, remind me, which industry do you work in? Is it engineering or what?
I'm a tier 1 automotive part supplier stuff.
Gotcha. Oh, fun stuff. Yeah, fun stuff. And there's actually an organization and automation. I don't know if you're part of it, like the PMI, but in the world of automation or something to that effect. I don't know if you're part of it, but yeah, there's a lot of parallels, a lot of similarity. I love the way PMI break down quality because a lot of people mix up quality assurance and quality control, but it's broken down. I don't want to get all Pembuckish on Carolene. She's had a hard, long day.
They all need a break.
They need a break. So I'm going to give a shout out one more time. Yeah,
I really like the DevSig and
Dixiv, yeah.
Dixiv, yeah, define and investigate. Yeah.
And generate alternatives.
Yeah.
Identify the best.
Identify and
Verify.
and about the alternative and pick the one and implement and check. So it's
There you go.
actually actually a plan that plan do check act.
It's very
kinda
similar
like-
to Plan, Do, Check, Act. And
Mhm.
that's why I implore the PMI to don't look at the 5 process groups as just so casual, because it maps directly back to the Plan, Do, Check, Act. The PDCA, you know, which
Yeah.
was made popular by Deming, but Stewart is a guy behind it. I mean, that is just a holy grail to quality. So
Mhm.
anyone
And-
diminishing it doesn't really understand what
Yeah.
quality is about. So yeah.
In fact, the whole agile idea can be explained like a PDCA.
Absolutely.
It's
That's what it
because
is.
every day, and it's actually
Yes.
a PDCA.
Agile is
And-
everyday PDCA. Your daily scrum is part of the PDCA. It's a check and an act. You know, it's one of these monitor, check, act, and we call it inspect and adapt, inspect and adapt.
Mhm.
That's really what even Kanban, I mean, everything maps back to the PDCA. So when I hear them trying to diminish it in the 7th edition, that's why I get a little bit passionate about it, because I'm like, you're sending people over the cliff, like the, IBM, Apple advert. Don't send people over the cliff. No, don't do it. But anyway, that's for another day. Zhiru, we need to work on you getting certified.
Yeah.
And that's our goal. I think we got you and maybe one other person in the group. Tameka knows better, but we're not gonna call anyone out. But Tameka, our meetings are expended. We don't have any other meetings, do we? Our meetings are. Is
Oh
that
yeah,
what-
you mean the study
It's
group?
done.
You mean the study
Yeah,
group?
the
link?
study group. Do we need to schedule more meetings?
Yeah.
Who's gonna run it?
They want to. No, we can, because it's in our group. I think it's only a few more left. So
Okay, you
yeah,
gotta
if
go
you
all the
can
way.
extend it- If you
to the
can
end.
extend it till the end of July, because I think that's when a lot of people are taking it within the next month.
Okay, so you're gonna be hopping in to help them. You can't let
Yeah,
it die.
absolutely, absolutely. Like they, hit me up or whatever. I mean, I'm definitely down. So, and I think also when you're taking the test, it's like, don't forget about December, only because
Yeah.
that was my hang up. I
Mhm.
thought the test was gonna be kind of similar,
Mhm.
and it's totally not.
Not
Okay.
yet.
Totally not. And see, I think that was probably in my head, like, oh my goodness, I'm studying till 2:00 in the morning the day before, like I'm trying to see if I understand or remember all these different processes, but it was not like that at
Mhm.
all.
I knew you were kind of like that experience I had, but I tried my best to tell you to forget about December, but I don't know
Right,
if
you
it
did.
fell on.
We're
You
talking
did.
to me
You
too.
and Roy. You and Roy was like, I think one time you were like, to me, the questions you're asking, I think you got it. I think you know what you're doing.
Yes, and I remember that point, Tameka, and that was probably a month and a half or even 2
Yes,
ago.
it was a month. It was like, yes, it was like a month and a half or 2
Yeah.
2 months ago.
I
And
knew. I'm like, it's in the bag. That's it. I'm telling
I
you.
remember that.
I observe. I'm not just training. I'm observing. I'm putting some, psychologist kind of work to play. And if I feel that someone still has a little bit of a way to go, I'll try and point them in what they need to do. But I'm not just teaching. I'm really into what everyone's doing. Like Zhiru, I'm hearing you. You may not know, but I've got something on the agenda to help push you over that finish line, whenever that is. And I don't want you to hang up, but other gurus, I want to say I really appreciate your time. I'm going to ask you to stay behind for a few more moments, but tomorrow is Delita's lessons learned, and then we're going to have Carolene's, and then we're going to have Tameka's and everyone else. So thank you very much for coming. And
yeah, so
Thank you.
I'm excited because I love your background. This PMP passion it's an early birthday gift for myself. My birthday is next month. I mean, sorry, next month. Next week, and I'm going to Aruba on Monday. So I
Oh
will be
wow,
on that.
that's a
Yes,
big celebration.
This
Shadow
is gonna be an
Prince to
extra
come.
special birthday in Aruba.
Wow.
Yes. Happy
You deserve
birthday.
it. You deserve
Thank
it. Yeah. Happy
you.
birthday. Lovely
Send us a
stuff.
picture.
Yes, I can't wait. Will do.
Well, thank you all very
Okay.
much. And just before you go, I just got to brag on you all one more time. Got to show everyone the names of the gurus who have worked hard and tirelessly. Anyone saying that this is a cakewalk, they need a check. They need a checkup because this is not a cakewalk. This stuff is hard to do. I don't care whatever your background is, just the sheer volume of information. And, there's some risk takers who would say, no, you don't need to study that. You don't need to study that. But I know for each of you, you were not risk takers. You did everything that Roy and I had preached about, and look at it, success. So thank you so much for coming. And do you have any 2 cents? Because for anyone who is doubting that, this program, I don't really know, this guy called Phil, it looks dubious. He looks like, I don't know, he's pimping the PMBOK guide. Can you just give Praizion some big ups as far as this course and how it has helped?
Absolutely. I feel like you feel and Praizion, it's amazing. I feel like the support you give. When we send you emails, I mean, within 24 or a few hours or an hour, you get back to us really, really quick. And then it's the questions, you send the video. Like, who does that? Like, I don't know your family. I mean, it's just like, where's the time? So I appreciate that, seriously.
Thank you. My daughter wants to be like me, and she actually can teach PMP too. So, actually, she came up with a mnemonic. I mean, she was 10 at the time, but she came up with a mnemonic. I prefer eating mangoes chilled at 10. Who does that? Process food. So you got to get them when they're young. PMI has the project management ready course that is for high schoolers or people. So, I'm in it for the long haul. I truly believe everyone should be a project manager. So I'm in it for the long haul. Thank you. Any big ups for Praizion regarding this?
Yeah. Well, I've been on the journey since 2018. And I can just say, Praizion, Phil, like, you guys have been on the journey with me the entire time, like encouraging me, supporting me, offering classes to me. Like, even if my LMS was up one time, it's like, oh, you know what? We got you. Like, it was just non-stop support, and the resources are endless. Like, it's almost too many resources, and I hate to say that word, but it's like you can never have too many, but it's so much out there. Like, you don't need to go anywhere else. If you're going to be with Praizion, just be with Praizion. Like, it's no need. Like, you have YouTube, audios, Phil, direct contact with Phil. Like, it's just, you don't need anything else.
Thank you. Thank you.
No. Yeah.
And I started the journey. I took a class at the university back in 2016 and then took a prep class, and that was the 5th edition. Wow. And I was like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to get this. So last year, we had the pandemic and everything. And I just searched PMP studies. And then I saw YouTube with Praizion Media. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, they've already started the class. So I ordered the 20 hours of audio.
Yeah.
And then I emailed and said, when are you going to have another class? And then I got the notice like 2 weeks later. And so I've been on this journey. I tell everybody this is the way to go, because you give over and beyond what you ask for. I've had other instructors before, and once that 6 weeks was over, you never heard from them again. And I feel that you really, truly are interested in your pupils passing, and not to say, oh, it's a feather in your cap, but you are really, really interested in us passing.
Thank you, Carolene. Thank you. Thank you, Tameka. Thank you, Delita. Appreciate you folks. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And we're looking forward to the lessons learned with Delita tomorrow. Caroline, your turn's coming. Tameka, we're going to be knocking on the door, asking you to bring your friend along.
Okay.
Come do some lessons learned, all right? So thanks so much.
Okay.
Appreciate you.
All right. Good luck, sir.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
If I can, Delita, if I cannot show up tomorrow, congratulations again.
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
So don't go, Zhiru. Don't go. Don't go, because we're going to.
Okay. Bye, guys.
Bye. Thank you. We're going to do a little bit of chit chat Zhiru, about the syllabus and about all this stuff, because I really want to make sure that we've got it straight. And I know some of our other friends are watching and thinking, so you're working on this right now, correct? This is what you're working on?
Yes.
Awesome,
Yes, I
awesome.
am reading. This is my third time, but I feel like I still need to go through it because I feel like I'm still a little bit confused about the feature release. It's like there's a feature release break.
Oh, I see. So
Burn up or burn down. Something.
right.
Oh, yeah,
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
can have a burn down
Accumulated
for
flow
different
diagram.
things. Yeah, you can have a burn down for different things. But I would say if you just stick to what is here, because there are many types of burn down charts, but what is here in the Agile Practice Guide is sufficient. Just the story points as it relates to each sprint. That is what I would focus on. Once you understand that concept, you're fine. And then when you understand what is in the PMBOK guide, have you taken a look at the product roadmap in chapter 6?
Yes, I remember that chart, but you will not see, you start with vision, then you go through the roadmap. Then after the roadmap, you have the release planning.
Yes.
And release planning will drive your iteration planning.
That's right.
And it will drive your feature.
That's right.
Then go to story and user story.
Exactly.
And the last is your task.
Exactly.
You don't absolutely have to separate your task. So, but the task is estimated in hours.
There you go.
Your stories in the story point.
There you go.
Or you can really use t-shirt size.
Exactly. You've really done a great job in going up because Roy went over all of this stuff with you. And you're right on the money. So if you understand it, if you understand that chart right there, that one, that's pretty much what PMI wants you to know. And I like the way you distinguish the features from the user story. And then you know that tasks are estimated in hours and everything from story up is in story points. Bingo, nothing to worry about. As long as you have these definitions down, Zhiru, and as long as you go over the notes and the book, the Project Management Essentials book, where we have all of that, just go over those things. You've got more than enough. And then the quiz. You heard Delita say she took the quiz and just made sure she really knew what was in it. So you have everything you need at your fingertips. But what I want you to do before you exam is if you have any areas that you feel need some fine tuning, you need to email them to us. Okay. So just email them and then we'll take a look. And if we need to create some content for you, we do that. We put that on YouTube and you're able to get a better idea of, do I really understand this or do I need more work? But to me, it sounds like you got it. You got it because once you understand the overall concept of Scrum, you understand the 3-5-3, you're able to explain it in detail. You're able to explain how the people, the process, and the business relate to Scrum. So for example, if I say, Zhiru, taking a look at Scrum, tell me some of the people elements in Scrum that I should be thinking of. There are certain things I would expect you to say for at least maybe 2-3 minutes. And then if I say, Zhiru, tell me the process piece, what are some of the processes that exist in Scrum that you can tell me PMI might be looking for you to explain? And you just did one of them. You just did estimating. Estimating at the task level is in hours, estimating story and above is in story points, those kind of things. That's what I need you to be comfortable with. And then if I say, okay, tell me how the narration in let's just go because Emily and I are doing this in the journey, which is already on YouTube, and over the next number of weeks, we're going to be doing this. But if we go to the PMP exam content outline, we have the business. You should be able to look at the business tasks and you should be able to say, okay, as far as Agile is concerned, this is how it relates to the business. You get what I'm saying? So you take a look at the business environment. You should be able to tell me, what are you thinking of when you take a look at plan and manage project compliance? what comes to your mind, and how is this accounted for in Agile? Using Scrum as an example. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or we go to,
Task
you,
one.
you see what I'm saying? This plan and
Yeah.
manage project. You see what I'm saying? So
Yes. Mhm.
does anything come to your mind when you think about compliance and Scrum and where that may be addressed?
It's the product backlog. You order it based on the value.
Good, good. You order based on value. So if there are compliance related items in your backlog, they are important. You know what I mean? They're important. I see Keith was on. Hi, Keith.
Here's a question. Actually, in your 120 question, it's exactly a similar question like that. You have your targeting is value as a goal. And another answer is actually you look at the revenue. So I think if you look at the from business point of view, both answers seems to be correct, right?
Yes, they seem to be. The correct answer, depending on the question wording, it should be value, because value is a number of things. Value is not just revenue. Value is stockholder equity, it's goodwill, it's brand recognition, it's many things. So if
Tangible
you
and
look,
intangible.
yeah, you need to look at value that covers revenue. Revenue is part of, yeah,
I see.
yeah,
I see. I got it.
yeah. So
And
you just need to feel comfortable, Zhiru. Like looking at this, right? Then looking at this one on value, like you said, when you talk about value, you prioritize just like you said it. That's why I know you're doing the right things, because you picked out the right words. You prioritize your backlog based on value. You prioritize your backlog primarily on value, and you can have risk factored in. Yes. You can prioritize based on cost of delay. Yes, many things. But ultimately, you want to be thinking about value first. And then if you go down to the third one here, evaluate and address external business environment. Does that one make sense? Number 3 in business. This one. Evaluate and address external business environment changes for impact on scope. So here's one that will explain it to you. This one. Does that make sense, Zhiru?
task, oh, sorry, it's a different page, sorry. So it's task 3. So in this one, address external. So you basically, you will look at how customers' reaction, how they respond to your increment.
Good.
And give you the suggestion, give you the feedback, see if this is what they want, if this would add the value to their portfolio.
Exactly.
Or to their organization.
Exactly. You want to look at their reaction, and then you also want to gauge based on what is happening in the business environment, what is happening in the marketplace, how is that affecting whatever is in your backlog? Will it affect? Maybe it does, maybe it doesn't. If it does, then you need to take the right action to reprioritize or include new items. And it seems like you're very familiar with this stuff. I mean, you were in the class and you were very active asking all the right questions. So I've got no concern. And this one is about change. And we know that Agile is all about change. So Zhiru, my 2 cents, have you gone to scrum.org? That's the only piece that I would say.
Scrum.org, I have done a couple of times the Scrum open assessment.
Good.
PO assessment and leadership assessment.
Good. Good. That's exactly what you need to do. And just keep on closing the gap. So the last piece of the puzzle on the Praizion side, where you've got all of these questions, close the gaps, okay, with the PDFs. Close the gaps. If anything isn't making sense, we need to know about it. When you've closed the gaps there in the Agile and the 180, to be quite honest, when you're getting in the 80s, 90s, at that point, it shows you've gotten to a level of mastery that is going to see you through on the exam. But I would say don't stop until you get in the high 80s and early 90s on that. exam. If you can do it
100
again,
180 question?
yeah, the 180
Okay.
question especially. For the
Okay.
120 question test, that is at the ACP level. So it's a little bit harder than PMP level.
120 question, I covered all the answer
Lovely.
and I did it one more time yesterday.
Ah,
Let me see what I got. I think how many answers I got wrong yesterday.
okay.
I was actually, oh my gosh, it's here, it's messy everywhere. See the pin box, I have all the chapters. I
Oh, wow.
condensed this myself each chapter. So let me see.
Well
where
done. I can check.
Oh, I had the 110 question.
Okay.
This is what I did
You did
yesterday.
well. I can see. Okay, so you did one way back. That was a very good score for this one. That's a very good score.
I did once when I was
That was April.
yes.
That's a good
Yes.
score. So honestly, Zhiru, if you were getting this in April, it's looking like you're ready. It's looking like you're ready for the exam. So I want to encourage you to, yeah, start seeing yourself as being ready, because this
Okay.
tells me you are ready without a
Okay.
doubt. Because that exam is a beast. The agile one, it's on the ACP level. It's hard. Even if you've taken it once before and do it again, it's a hard exam. Let me see if you
Okay.
come up with this other one here.
180 question, I was 72.
Oh,
I
wow.
have this one exactly here.
Yeah. You passed that one.
It's here.
You passed that. I see that here. You passed that in April.
Yeah, I did that the last day because
Wow.
I always afraid, so I never tried it until the last day. I got 72, and thank you. You gave us the PDF file, printed everything out. So that's
Well,
the thing I'm going to.
Thank you
I'm
for
going
joining.
to do it again.
Yeah, thanks for joining the call. So did you find out about Praizion on YouTube, or how did you find out about it?
Yes, I found it on the YouTube.
Oh, wow. Well, I'm really glad that you joined, you, and we're gonna get it done. You gotta know it. I'm not just trying to make you feel happy or good. Read my lips. You are going to be a PMP. You understand what I'm saying? You're right up there. I'm looking at the scores you got. There are many, many folks who did not get up to that, and they are PMPs now. So you got to know it for yourself that you are going to get this thing, okay?
Thank you.
You got to know it. You're welcome. That's why I'm your coach. You're going to do it. Don't.
I really feel lucky. I mean, even though I haven't taken the test yet, because when I first thought about I want to look into something different, so one of my friends say, hey, why not we learn PMP together? So we never ended up learn PMP together, and she passed it.
Oh, wow.
So she passed it.
You are going to do, and you're going to do great. And you know what, Zhiru, I don't care about what happened in the past. Look, now that you're doing it again, you're getting a firmer understanding in Agile. Look, you're using stand-up meetings and other vehicles, even in your work. So it's all for good. You're going to come away with a much more robust understanding and better command of the entire syllabus. So be encouraged, keep going, keep doing what you need to do. Like I said, if there's anything you want me to answer for you, I'll definitely do it, and just email. That's all. Okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'll let you get on with your study.
One more question. I think I forgot which one question. And it's the WIP. So work in progress.
Yes.
So the best thing, I think you want to optimize the WIP, right? Not minimize.
You minimize it.
You minimize.
Yes, the idea is to
optimize
minimize. Yes, because the idea about work in progress is the more things you have in progress, the longer it's going to take for you to finish. And that's why you want to minimize the shorter the work in progress, the quicker you're going to get stuff done. The longer the more things you've got in progress, it's going to take longer to get them done. So for people that want to do more, they want to multitask, no. And experiments have shown, remind me to send you the penny. I'll actually see if I've got it up here. I'm going to send you the penny test. It's a penny experiment in Agile, and it's called a penny game, I beg your pardon. It's like a coin flip game, and the smaller batches, they always win the competition because the work in progress is limited. It's smaller, and you're able to get through it quicker. You just watch this video. I'm going to send it to you in the chat. Watch that video. One of the tenets about Kanban is you must limit your WIP. If you're doing so many things all over the place, it affects you. And at the end of the day, it takes longer for you to get stuff done. Okay, so take a look at that link. And when we get done here, you can go watch it. You'll find it interesting, okay?
So next question, how you know, like what is the limit of the minimize?
Good question. So it varies. It depends on capacity and it depends on a lot. But the overall idea for me, when I'm using my own personal Kanban board, just for example, as a rule, if I have more than 2 things in my work in progress column, like, you know, you got to do, doing, done. For me personally, if I have more than 2 things, I find that it's never a good idea because you end up running all over the place for item number 3 and 4, and items number 1 and 2, they don't get done. So you probably heard Roy say, stop starting, start finishing. That's the whole mindset in Kanban. You should finish. So that's why when we do the daily stand-ups in the world of Kanban, we start from those things that are to the right of the board, closest to being done. That is what we immediately begin talking about. Okay, what do I need to do to get this to done? And that's our focus, you know, because we know that if you don't get stuff done, you know, work in product is a primary measure of progress. If you're not getting stuff done, you're not really doing much. And that's why having so many things in the air and not finishing any of them in a timely fashion is always bad. But it depends.
That actually is a bottleneck.
Yes, there you go. It's a bottleneck. By the time you got so many things in the whip and none of them are making their way to done, you know that you got a bottleneck. What is preventing this from getting to done? All right, Phil has done the coding. Zhiru has done the testing. What else are we waiting for? Oh, we're waiting for go ahead from XYZ person. That's why we uncover the impediments in the daily stand-up, even in Kanban, so we can move those things to done. Yeah.
Another question. I always stumble on those questions. What is the like a Scrum team, like how many members on the Scrum team? I remember it was in the Scrum guide, it's 7 ± 2.
In the Scrum guide, they actually talk about between 3 and 6, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, because the moment you go over, no, I beg your pardon, between 3 and 9. The moment you go over 9 and you go into 10, it becomes harder and harder to manage the communication flows and stuff. There's something that the CEO of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, says. He says, if you can feed your team with 2 pizzas, you're good. The moment you start going over more than 2 pizzas, you got a problem. So we try to keep the team small, you know, not overtly small, but small enough so that the communication can be rapid, the interchange can be, you know, and then we rely on the T-shaped scale. So even though it's a small team, because they've got those T-shaped scales, they're going to be getting a whole lot done, you know. And then you can scale up, you can scale up, you can scale down. You could use Scrum of Scrums if you need to. You could use less. But the bottom line is if you got one team, you know, try to keep it not more than 9, 3 to 9. That's really the sweet spot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I always, sorry.
No, go on.
I always pick the wrong answer when I do the like the what's important in the agile is the people and the process and people, and I always pick that wrong. But I was in this page, it says purpose, people, and process. I was thinking,
Yeah,
oh
yeah.
no, it's purpose. And
Yeah,
people
there's a tendency to want to
process.
put people first, but you got to know why you're doing what you're doing. Otherwise, there's no
Mhm.
people. There has to be a
Yeah,
why. Then
yeah.
when you know the why, then the people come. Yeah,
That's kind of like the agile charter. You answer the three questions: what and how and why.
yes,
So those are the three questions. So it will
yeah,
link to this purpose and process.
exactly,
It's the what and
exactly.
how. Mhm.
Exactly. And I'm very happy that you are obviously reading this book here. And for the viewers watching, I highly recommend, if you have not read the Agile Practice Guide, please go over it with a fine-tooth comb. This is where majority of your PMP Agile stuff will come from. It's, to be quite honest with you, Zhiru, I know there's a lot regarding um, XP, TDD, ATDD, BDD. Those are
Mhm.
not the questions that PMI is going to focus on. They're going to focus on the mindset. So if you are very familiar with the manifesto, which I'm sure you are, both the values and the principles, you'll be on a great footing to do this. Okay.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. You're welcome. Well, thanks so much for coming. And I know it was short notice, but I'm glad that you came in and you asked some great questions, and I'm hoping that it benefits everyone else. And I'm just going to round
Really
up
appreciate
by
your time. Mhm.
thank
Really
you, Jerry. You're
appreciate your
most
time.
welcome. I won't keep you any further. I'll go ahead and
Mhm.
close out the meeting. So thank you, and looking
Thank
forward to
you.
the great news. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
All right. You take
Bye.
care. Bye.
Mhm. Bye.
Bye. All right. Well, it was nice to have all of our friends here and taking a look at some of the PMP exam content. I just want to talk a little bit about Project Management Masterclass, because I know we've been having such a great time celebrating friends' successes and giving them all the shout outs. But for those of you that are really considering coming on the program, going down to projectmanagementmasterclass.com. We have a class starting next month. It's coming up in just a couple of weeks. So if you want to be part of that program and you want to be part of the PMP gurus, I call them PMP bosses that have, accomplished these great things, go on down to projectmanagementmasterclass.com. Someone says, okay, but what are we going to cover in the course? Everything for the PMP exam. There's so many things that we need to cover. We need to cover the 5 process groups, the 10 knowledge areas, the 49 processes, the agile components, Scrum, Kanban, Agile Manifesto, principles, values, the continuum of life cycles, page 19 in the Agile Practice Guide, contracts in the world of Agile. I mean, I could go on and on and on. There's a boatload of stuff, okay? But if you are struggling and you're like, I need to be on a program where someone can point me in the right direction, because I keep getting lost, that's okay. Like I say, going down to that projectmanagementmasterclass.com site, I'm going to show you what that looks like. When you get to the site, you're going to be able to scroll down and hit reserve your spot and sign up. And this is all the great stuff we're going to be covering: foundations, building in the world of predictive, building up in the world of agile, and then covering all of these domains: domain 1, domain 2, domain 3. And we're going through all of this stuff with a fine tooth comb. All right. So one more time, I encourage you. You want to be like our bosses, our gurus, it's projectmanagementmasterclass.com. All right. I hope this was of help and encouragement to someone. Thank you so much for joining, and I look forward to seeing you in the classroom or hearing from you somewhat about your success. You take care, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.